Hi. So, I'm a student of truth, right? And so I'll come on at this point to share some truths that I've learned. It's been a while since I've posted a video because I have gone through a rough patch. Now, I don't really feel inclined to share exactly what that rough patch was, but I've learned some things, and those I will share. The first thing is that events that we view as negative are in fact catalysts that cause us to grow. You know, the event that occurred in my life was by no means the worst thing in my life. Those sorts of things were happening decades ago. But it was quite negative. It was quite abrupt. It was a big surprise. It was a shock. It caused me to perform a deep and thorough self-examination, which came out pretty well, actually. Yeah. That part of it affirmed that I've come a long way in the past few decades. I've really grown. Then it gave me an opportunity to use some of the spiritual tools that I've managed to collect over time. Right off the bat, and this is the first thing that I'd like to mention, is that when it comes to the law of attraction and manifestation, the positive far outweighs the negative. When this thing happened, I was flooded with negative thoughts, negative scenarios of what my future was going to look like and everything else, right? But that is where free will came in. I used my free will to choose to envision a positive outcome. I thought to myself, it is just as legitimate to envision a positive thing happening to me as it is to envision anything else. And within an hour of doing that, the positive thing that I envisioned happened. So I learned, yes, manifestation, the law of attraction, it does work. And I also confirmed that something that I had learned previously, years ago even, that one positive thought wipes out many, many negative thoughts. 90% of what is on your mind might be negative. Seems like all that sort of happens automatically as the subconscious continues to function. But with only 10% of your thoughts being on the positive side, they're more powerful. That's what will manifest the positive thing. That was 2 weeks ago. In the last 2 weeks, I have successfully used that tool maybe even 20 times, definitely more than 10 times, where I had negative thoughts kind of automatically bubbling up from my subconscious. But then I tell myself, wait a minute. It is just as legitimate, maybe even, probably even more legitimate, to envision a positive outcome in this situation. And each of those times, the positive outcome was the thing that manifested. So the negative event was an opportunity for me to confirm the power of positive thinking. Okay, so what else did I learn? Well, I learned about my subconscious mind, about some of the most prominent blockages in my subconscious mind. And I was able to address these things. It taught me about my childhood, and that, when I was 5 years old, 6 years old, and my subconscious mind was being formed, well, I experienced what in modern times would be called cancellation. I got canceled as a kid, to where to be my friend was considered social suicide. All right? And so that has been a subconscious problem for me ever since. And I lost sight of the specifics of it. Well, this event brought that back and allowed me to actually address it. Allowed me to, on my own, appeal to source, direct to source. And then also my spirit guides. And then also my friends. And to be able to specifically bring it up in therapy. And thereby make some real progress, some real growth towards removing that blockage from my subconscious. The next thing I learned was that my love of science, my love of mathematics, my love of science fiction, my love of music. These are expressions of my inner child. And I think that's really the main point of my video, and I think that's the title that I'll put on it. Because what I have been doing over these last 2 weeks is some rather intense inner child work. My inner child is all about learning and discovering far out and awesome things. That's what excites me. You know, learning that there are structures out there in the universe made, probably, I guess we don't know this for sure, but made of strange quarks, where the whole, or at least the core of the astronomical object is solid, strange quarks. That's crazy. Think of the forces, the powerful gravitational forces required to crunch matter down to where everything has become a strange quark. And yet not quite enough to make it collapse into a black hole. That's my inner child that is put into a sense of awe about that and so much else. You know, the monumental effectiveness of space-time algebra, how it's just powerful algebra. I am so excited about what kind of discoveries I can make by using that algebra. That's my inner child. After this adverse event, there was no science. There was no wonder. There was no awe. That's because my inner child had taken a hit. I mean, this event went straight to the core. And my inner child was absolutely afraid, just like back in the day. Just like when I was 6 years old and got canceled in school. Felt exactly the same. And when I made the connection, when I realized that the way my body was feeling, that was my inner child expressing his fear of being canceled, of being rejected, of being abandoned, of being all alone. Oof. Can't believe I'm posting this, for crying out loud. But like what is going to allow me to upload this video, and what is allowing me to express fundamental parts of my shadow, is the fact that I have addressed them. I'm coming out from the other side of this thing. So, I had to be a strong and protective parent to my inner child. I promised my inner child that I would protect him. I will create the environment for my inner child to thrive. I will do what it takes to shield my inner child from the disorder, the negative shit, so that he can be safe, and in that safety, expand and thrive. And it's worked. Well, you can see that it's worked in that I was pretty excited about thinking about strange quark stars and space-time algebra. Yeah, it's all coming back, and it's coming back stronger. This idea that one positive thought outdoes a multitude of negative thinking, that gives me confidence that I can and will protect my inner child and create a positive environment for him. I have confidence that I can be a good parent to my inner child because I'm connected to Source. I'm the branch that is on the vine and receives nourishment from the vine. Christian reference there. I am the vine, you are the branches, yes. I have so much positivity supporting me, nourishing me, so that I can be and am a great parent to my inner child. And now, my inner child and I feel the excitement of what we're going to be creating, what we're creating now, and what we are going to be creating in the space-time future, and in the extra-dimensional sense, what we've already created. I suppose, at some point I might think a little more here in this space about how the law of attraction and manifestation works in a quantum sense. I've talked about it before in other videos. It has to do with the complex valued weighting factors that come along with each possible eigenstate, because the future is a spectrum of eigenstates, and it's with our free will in the present moment that we can make a choice. We can choose whichever one or set of ones we want. Yes. And this fact was I demonstrated this to myself by experimentally choosing to envision the positive outcome. So, I'm grateful to God for this whole experience and what I've learned from it, and for the opportunity to share what I've learned with you.